This is called bootOS. It is created by a man called Oscar Toledo, and bootOS is an operating system that claims to be less than 1 kilobyte in size, precisely 512 bytes. So I think let's check it out. Before we can actually try it out, we have to set it up in a virtual machine. So I'm going to clone the Git project onto my machine. Then we have to use the NASM assembler and run this command. How do you spell it correctly? I don't know. I do not know anything about assembly, but I guess this turns the operating system's source code into a raw binary file. After that, in order to boot the operating system in a virtual machine, we have to create an empty floppy disk image. Then I just combine the raw binary and the empty floppy disk image into a bootable floppy disk image. And now we can go ahead and create a virtual machine using QEMU and our bootable floppy image. There's the operating system. It works. But before we actually check it out, I wanted to quickly confirm the size of this operating system. There's the source code file. This one is 20 kilobytes in size, but the operating system itself that we are booting is just 512 bytes in size. Let's check out the operating system. So, of course, there is nothing graphical. There's only the command line interface and there are a few commands that we can use. According to the documentation, when you first boot up the operating system, you have to type format, because that initializes the directory. Then you can check for what is the operating system's current version. There is none at the moment, but at least it outputs what operating system you are using. Then you have this keyword to check what files you have in your directory. I have none at the moment. We can create new files using the enter keyword. You also have to put a plus sign at the end because I think it specifies a new line. Here you can enter up to 512 hexadecimal bytes to create some kind of a text. Each line allows up to 128 characters, so you have to break it up into chunks of 4, 8 or 16 bytes. After each line, you have to put the plus symbol so that you can write the next set of characters in a new line. Once you are done, you have to add a plus sign at the end so that it knows where the file ends, and then you can proceed to give it a name to your new file. I named it Hello World. Then if we check the directory's contents, now it shows our new file. If I write the file's name, it will give us the output. Then the final keyword that there is for deleting files. I can use it to delete the Hello World program that I just made, and now it's gone. For being just 512 bytes in size, I think this is pretty cool. On the GitHub page, it says bootOS is a boot sector operating system. Now, what does that mean? What is the boot sector? The boot sector, found at the beginning of your storage device, holds essential instructions to kickstart your computer's operating system. It's like ignition key for your computer, without which it wouldn't know how to start up and run the operating system. Okay, but in this case we have a whole operating system running from that boot sector, as far as I understand. Pretty cool. But it doesn't end here. There's also software programs for this operating system. The process is similar to what we did previously. I first go ahead and clone the project, then change directories, and there was a command in the GitHub project that you have to use. I'm guessing it also just turns the code into a raw binary file. And then I just go ahead and start it with QEMU. These software programs are not exactly something that you put into bootOS and start from there, but rather standalone bootable images. Here you have Doom. I had a hard time understanding what is going on here at first, but apparently these colorful cubes are the enemies, and they change color based on how close they get to you. You have to shoot them, obviously. The controls are kinda weird. You have to use the left control to turn left, then you use the right control or left alt to turn right, you use left shift to move forward, and right shift to shoot enemies, which is just a flicker on the screen. I found the game nearly impossible to play while you are moving the character around. It was best to just stand still in one position and shoot whoever is approaching you. This game is running from the boot sector and it is also just 512 bytes in size. Quite impressive, I have to say.